Genesis chapter 37, but our focus in some way is going to be on Proverbs 14. Proverbs 14, Old Testament text. You find Ecclesiastes, you're definitely going to find Proverbs. You're definitely going to find the book of Proverbs. Chapter 14, verse 23, 14 and 23. If you have it, say amen.
Amen.
If you don't, say wait, preacher. We're going to wait for it. Because I want you to get it. I want you to have an idea to see the word of the Lord. I don't mind waiting on people to grasp the word of the Lord, because I want you to be able to see it when you go home, to be able to share it maybe with co-workers on the following day. So that's why I'll wait for you to find the text, to find the word, so all together we'll see it and know it, and then I can move forward in it. Everyone has it now? Isn't that wonderful? I tell you, you guys are unbelievable. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23. This is what it says. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to what?
Poverty.
What y'all say?
Poverty.
Oh, isn't that something? Extreme. Okay, thank you. And then I'll move to Genesis chapter 37. You can be seated. Father, help us now declare your word. Thank you for all that you're going to do and for all that's going to be said. Thank you for those who come to the altar already this morning. Thank you. The lives will be changed after the preaching of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Inform us, impact us, empower. In Jesus' name we pray. And everyone says, amen.
Amen.
I want to have a conclusion of my thoughts concerning 2016. Want to have that. We've leaped into certain things. Now I simply want to talk from this point. Look at somebody, say the destiny of 16.
The destiny of
So
16.
the destiny of 16. Now it's imperative, ladies and gentlemen, that you understand what God is requiring of you. It's imperative that you understand what life is inquiring of you. And so that's why I read to you Ecclesiastes, because it begins to bring certain points out, very, very interesting points. And so I wanted to share that with you on today. Now, first of all, when you consider this book of Proverbs, when you consider it, it's a fascinating book, a very fascinating thought. And so when I want to really get insightful things, I always go to this book. Because the book always deals with wisdom. It talks about real life situations. It talks about real things that's going to happen in your lives. Because sometimes we hide in church, but not understanding that real things are going to happen to real people in everyday situations. Okay? And so this book is always very, very insightful. There are a couple of categories in this book. You've got the law, you've got the prophets, and you have the writings of the book. And so really, when you look at this book, it talks about poetic things, poetry in its vein. So you got 3 books in the Bible that deals with the poetry. You've got Psalms, you've got Proverbs, and you have Ecclesiastes. It always talks about the wisdom of a man or a woman. It talks about how wise you should be. Wise in your deliverance, wise in your thinking, wise in every move that you make. And so that's what I want to talk about. When you deal with the wisdom, especially in the area of Proverbs, it simply talks about articles, things that should be said. So that's why I've been having you declaring things, because certain things should be said that your ears should hear all the time. So the more you say something, the more it becomes an article. Somebody say, it's a law.
It's a law.
It becomes a discourse. It becomes something that becomes a nature to you. It becomes something that is very common to you. So when you start looking at the book of Proverbs, it's going to speak simply of wisdom's understanding. Watch this. It's going to talk about behavior. It's going to talk about righteousness. It's going to talk about justice. All of these things. It's going to give directions and knowledge. So I thought this was insightful. First of all, let me deal with the text because I want to be able to share the text with you. What profits? What profits? This is a labor. Labor always profits. So what profit has to do with anything? Profits has to do a lot with everything, because the more you consider what you're going to do, the more you consider the work that you're going to be doing is going to profit you something. Work is simply labor. Somebody say labor. So profits has a lot to do with many things in Scripture. I'm just going to teach a little bit because I want you to get it. Profits have a lot to do with certain areas of Scripture. I think it's in Isaiah chapter 30. Verse 5, it talks about profit being valuable. Anything that is profit to me is valuable to me. It becomes useful to me. I need you to understand how useful your life is going to be this year. I want you to consider how useful you are to the people that you're around and the people that you're going to touch. But literally now, when we deal with this, we have to understand that profit means to gain frequently. Somebody say gain frequently. It means plenteous. I'm going to be plenteous. I'm going to have more than what I've had. I'm going to do more than what I've done. I'm going to expect more than what I expect because I'm living in plenty. Now, I may not have it tangibly, but it's already captured in the thoughts of my mind. It is captured in the purpose of who I am. So when I say something, I'm doing it from the prophet standpoint. Do you follow what I'm saying? I'm doing it from that. Now let's deal with this because it's important. And when you deal with this, it also it means excellence. It means to excel in something great. Look at somebody say, I've got to excel in something great. Watch this. I'm going to excel in something great because that is great becomes quality in my life. It is quality. I want quality. That's why when you go out and buy name brand things, because you're looking for quality. It's excelling. I need something that's going to excel. Look at somebody say profits and loss. All week. The news have been forecasting the points, the Dow Jones losing points. You know, how much 401k has lost in the first 3 weeks of the year. Somebody say profits and loss. Those things are life. They are going to happen. But you can always recover from that is a loss in your life. Because profits will always outweigh your losses. Is there anybody in here? Profits will always outweigh the things that you lose. It's going to get better. Just hold on and let me build my text here. So, the word work. So, if I'm going to have profits in 2016, I have to have work. I've got to put my hands to the plow. I've got to do things that I don't normally do. So, work says it means to do something thoroughly. It means to accomplish and advance. I'm going to do things so thoroughly that when people see me, they're going to say to me that you are accomplishing things quicker than what you said because you have a work ethic toward it. I don't want you guys to have a January work ethic. Okay? Well, holler back at your preaching. It won't be 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, talk back to me. I don't want you to have a January work ethic like, okay, this is the first of the year. I've made all my resolutions. I've done all those things. But besides when February gets here, now that work ethic has dwindled off. Work says I'm going to be thorough in everything I'm going to do. I'm going to advance myself more than I've ever advanced myself because I've got to accomplish that I'm going to accomplish. I'm almost there. The last word in the text is the word laboreth. Laboreth. Laboreth is a figure of speech that deals with our misery. Misery. You are going to have labor causes certain misery. Don't work 16 hours a day. It becomes no longer work. It becomes misery. After 12 hours, you didn't check out anyway. Really, after about 10, you've already checked out. So anything that you labor in becomes a misery to you because it's more sometimes than what you can bear. But you understand that the misery or the labor is the work and it's actually the profit that I'm going to bring forth. So my destiny in 2016 is to be profitable. Let me just teach my word. Let me teach my Sunday school lesson. I'm going to get there in a minute.